Alright, so today we're going to be talking about exponential growth curve and generation time within bacteria. So within the exponential growth curve, we have 4 stages. These 4 stages are the lag, log, stationary, and death. So within the lag stage, that is when bacteria is metabolically active, but it's not dividing. So this is when you introduce bacteria to a new growth medium or a broth culture or anything for the first time, and they are still accumulating and have yet to actually multiply in size. In the log phase, this is when growth is going to begin in an exponential rate. So at this point, bacteria is still typically small in size because they're still growing, so they're still developing proteins, nucleic acids, important characteristics of bacteria at this time. So with that being said, antibiotics are going to be the most effective during this point in time. So in the log phase, that is when growth is going to be the most exponential. That is when bacteria will begin to multiply. In the stationary phase is when cell division and cell death is equal. So bacteria is not going to be growing at a greater rate that they are dying. This could be due to the fact that less nutrients have become in the area. So at this point, they're kind of in a metabolic process of maintaining or maintenance. They're not really growing anymore. It's also important to know that at this time, they may have created a resistance to antibiotics, or they start expressing resistance to antibiotics, which further proves the point that antibiotics are the most effective in the log phase. In the death phase, so cell death, this is when cells are dying faster than they're multiplying. Likely this is due to the fact that they are in a less dense area in terms of nutrition and stuff like that. It's also due to the fact that, like I said in the pH video, bacteria produce toxins and acidic byproducts due to their metabolic processes. Essentially, their environment has become unstable for them to actually continue growing. And then here I drew out the exponential growth curve, so we can see the lag. So this is when bacteria is metabolically active, but they're not actually multiplying. We have the log phase, which is when bacteria is multiplying or dividing at an exponential rate. Antibiotics are most effective here. We have the stationary phase, so growth and cell death is equal. And then in the death phase is when the environment has become too unstable and bacteria has started to die off quicker than they have been multiplying. Okay, so in terms of generation time, so that was the exponential growth curve. Pretty simple. In terms of generation time stands for the amount of time it takes for a bacteria population to double. So for instance, in this instance, bacteria will double from 2 to 4, then 4 to 8, then from 8 to 16. And these arrows right here are that is the generation time. So that's how long it takes for a bacterial population to double. To determine or to calculate this, there is a formula. N stands for the final number of cells. N blank, or whatever number you want to put there, is the starting number of cells. N, lowercase n, is the number of generations. G stands for generation time, and then T obviously stands for time. This is what the formula kind of looks like right here. So obviously I created a hypothetical. Of course, I already know the answer to this because I calculated it. But let's just say we have a colony of 50 cells of bacteria, and it takes them 20 minutes for them to double their population. So 20 minutes is the generation time. That's how long it takes for them to actually double their population. And then let's say 7 hours have gone by. So what is the final number? What is the final population of bacteria? So the way we calculate this, we have n50, so 50 is our starting population, and then 2 to the power n. So we have to find out how many generations they've actually gone through, right, in 7 hours. So the way we calculate this is that we take 7 hours, okay, we take 7, and then we times that by, we want to convert this to minutes. So we take 7 times 60, 7 times 60 is 420. So we have 420 here. So we have 420, and then we have to take the minutes, so the generation time, so we want to divide 420 by 20. So 420 divided by 20 is going to equal 21. So now we have our new formula here. So we have n equals n50 times 2 to the power of 21. Okay, so I'm actually going to have to calculate what 2 to the power of 21 is because I don't know that off the top of my head, so let me do that real quick. 2 to the power of 21 is 2,097,152. 50 times 2,997,152 is equal 104,857,600 cells. In 7 hours, if the generation time is 20 and we start with our population of 50, in 7 hours, the bacteria has essentially, their population has grown to 104,857,600 cells. So that is the formula to calculate the generation time, or to, I should say, calculate the final population number if we already know the generation time. And yeah, I hope I made everything pretty simple.